What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys, on the channel. In today's video we are going to be talking about England's last game against Croatia in the UEFA Nations League in matchday 2, guys. Yes, guys, that's right, UEFA Nations League is back for round 3, I think. Let's get into today's video, guys. We made 5 changes from the last game against Spain. Talk about the starting 11. So we started with Pickford, Walker, Stones, Maguire, Chilwell, Henderson, Dyer, Barkley, Sterling, Kane, Rashford. Overall reaction, first half, shambolic. I think England as a team, we weren't as good as the World Cup and also as good as, when we came up against Spain and when we were 1-0 up against Spain. The team that we played, not all of them went to the World Cup. It was more of a weaker team, which many people are going to say, which I must admit anyway. First half wasn't the best. We were slow. The transition from defence to the attack was slow. The passing was slow. The movement was slow. Everything much in the first half was slow. We just weren't showing that we were up for this game. It was more an international friendly. We were treating it more like an international friendly. We weren't really going for it in the first half. Some of these players haven't played together in the World Cup. I don't think we've sort of took it that very seriously in that first half. We were just slow completely in that first half. Not much was happening. No chances were created. No attempts were created. Nothing at goal were created. It was poor in that first half from England. I think that's the poorest I've seen England play under Gareth Southgate. First half was poor. Never seen anything like it in my life under Gareth Southgate. Second half was an improvement. We needed a quicker transition from defence to attack. We needed quicker movement. Passing needed to be a lot quicker. We needed to be a lot more sharper on the ball. We were quicker. Then we started creating chances, and when those chances were coming for us, with the chances that we created, they should have been in the back of the net. Like Rashford, for an example, he had 2 great chances, and if he would have put them away, great. As a striker, you should be putting something away like that. A bit frustrating and annoying that to happen. Chances that we weren't clinical enough, and chances that we bottled, really. And that's frustrating and annoying to happen. Some people are going to probably say it was a boring game. Yes, I must admit it was a boring game. I know it was 0-0. England just weren't good enough. We just have to put that behind us and move on now. And we can't really let that happen in the next future upcoming games, really. First half was a shocker. I've never seen anything like it. We were slow. At the end of the day, it is what it is. We move on against Spain now. And yes, guys, we will be analysing this game as normal, guys. First one is, if I was Gareth Southgate, would I call up youth players? Now, if you think about it, we were playing Ben Chilwell at left back. We all know he's not the best left back in the whole world. You're playing Ben Chilwell, he's young. I know he's probably 21 or something like that. And all the others are older than that. They're 25, 26, and they're more experienced. And when you're calling up youth players, they'll have fast legs. When you're coming up against teams like Croatia and Spain, Croatia game was a must-win for England. We needed to sort of pick up where we left off from. And after getting beat against Spain, we needed a result. We needed to come away with a win. We did not come away with the 3 points. We walked away with a point. That's what we had to walk away with. It's frustrating and annoying that to happen. But really, when you've got 2 tough games coming up your way and you've not had half of those players in the World Cup, I wouldn't really call up those youth players. I would save those youth players for later on, for another game. For an example, with England are playing USA in an international friendly later on this year, I would have saved them for that game. I wouldn't bring them in for the Croatia and Spain game. But they've got to produce a lot more now against Spain. Must win against Spain away from home as well. It's going to be a lot more harder for us. And that's what we've done, really. If Gareth Southgate has called up them, he's relying on them. So yeah, first half, England didn't start well whatsoever. England weren't at their best whatsoever. But when the game is behind closed doors, there's no atmosphere, and also it's more of a difficult game. I'm going to throw in another question there. A lot of people are going to be saying, why was there not fans in that stadium? Now, apparently, in Croatia's last game against Spain, where they got battered 6-0, they did something in the game. I think they set off fireworks or flares or something like that. So they had to, lock the doors and have the next game behind closed doors. that's their own fault. That's how it works, really. England, at that point, we just barely created any chances. Like I was saying, there was no attempts at goal, nothing. This was like the worst half I've ever seen England play football under Gareth Southgate. It was awful. The game has been slow. The transition has been slow. I knew that was not the real England. I just knew it, because you're playing Harry Kane, Rashford, Sterling. You must be thinking, right, a lot of pace there, width-wise. We weren't playing with width. We weren't playing dynamic football. Just a shambles, really, in that first half. England have only had one great chance at goal, with Dyer hitting the post near to the end of the half. That was just, a great chance to put away. No one was there to finish it off or just to get a little touch onto it for 1-0. Yeah, frustrating. The crosses have been rubbish, or they have been just going deep or just too slow. Pretty much England overall have been slow. There has been a little improvement from the World Cup, considering that was not the World Cup team. A lot more of a weaker of a team, with players, with youth players coming in and trying them out, Obviously he's trying to give them some game time and, time to shine, to play me more and stuff like that. But it's not good enough. When you're playing games like Croatia and Spain, players up, you would call the World Cup team that you brought up, really. And then if there's injuries, then they have to obviously go back to Manchester United or Tottenham, and then you have to just call up somebody else. And what I don't understand is Luke Shaw was injured and he had to go back to Manchester United. Danny Rose was injured, he went back to Tottenham, and then they bring in Ben Chilwell. They should have brought in someone like Ashley Young, really, who went to the World Cup, and yeah, just goes to show. This game wasn't one of the best of games. There was no creativity, there was no quality in the game. Rashford and Sterling haven't been at their best, same as Kane. England just haven't put enough pressure onto Croatia. I think overall the first half was slow for England. Second half, the tempo needs to be a lot quicker. We needed quicker movement. The transition from defence to attack needs to be quicker. The passing needs to be quicker. We need to be more sharper. Everything just needed to pay off. Did everything pay off? No, because when you've created chances in front of goal and you're not clinical enough and can't put them away, not everything's paid off, really. The crosses weren't as great as well. They were either too slow or they were just going too deep. And some of them were great, but some of them were just... For example, there was one great cross that Rashford got. He then started waiting for the ball. He should have moved, got to the ball, put it in. 1-0. Waited for the ball. It's not good enough. And as a striker, you should be putting away your chances, really. England were better. The transition from defence to attack was better. We were creating chances that we weren't clinical, chances that we bottled, chances that we should have put away. Kane had a great chance with a header. If it was 6 inches lower, it was going in. Again, Rashford had 2 great chances, bottled them. As a striker, again, you should be putting them away. Frustrating and annoying night. Wasn't our night, really. It's frustrating because we should have won, but also Croatia had some very good chances as well. Pickford had to make some great saves into the game. Defence was good, but not all the time. Again, it's just referring back to Manchester United. If one defender's up the pitch, they got to get back quick. We weren't organised at the back, I must admit. We weren't organised whatsoever. If there were fans, the fans would have motivated the players. That would have kept them going, created chances after chance after chance. That just wasn't there for England. Again, when you're playing a game behind closed doors, it's a lot more difficult. You can practically pretty much hear their conversations that they have in as well, control the language as well in the game as well, because obviously if they pick it up on the TV, you know what's going to happen there. A fine will be coming their way. If the fans were at the game, would England win the game? I think it would have done, because when the fans are there, it motivates the players, it keeps them going. When they're singing the national anthem, it keeps them going. They like to hear that every single game. But when you've got no fans there, there's just no atmosphere. You had to pull something off in that game, and that didn't happen for England. When you've got no fans and the game's behind closed doors, it's a lot more difficult, a lot more harder, and that's the way how games go when you've got your home fans that everything up, you know, setting off this, that and the other. It's a good idea that the game was behind closed doors anyway, because if the fans were there, they would have spent a heap of money and England didn't get the win anyway. So at the end of the day, if the fans were there, I think England would have won. They would have been singing the anthem, getting them going, push, push, push. We weren't pushing in that second half because we didn't put enough pressure onto them. They felt it, they definitely felt it, but not enough pressure was applied onto Croatia. Southgate reacted and did a substitution. Sterling went off for Sancho. Talk about Sterling's performance. I think Sterling's performance, he showed the ability, you know, to put the pressure onto Croatia. I don't think he put enough pressure onto Croatia. He was a threat in the game, but overall, just not good enough from Sterling's background. If he was a bit more of a threat, used his pace wisely, and probably got some few crosses in right and stuff like that. Again, he's still a waste of space, but needs to start working his game back up, and we need to pick it up now in the next game against Spain, because we lost against Spain and it's going to be completely harder as well when you're away from home as well. Should Southgate made more substitutions? Yes, definitely. I think when you've got tired legs, they definitely need to come off. When you're relying on someone like Ross Barkley, who's not been in the side, you know, for a few years, again, I wouldn't play someone like Ross Barkley, making too many errors, too many mistakes in the game. We were sloppy in times, giving away possession, being dispossessed. Both-sided game, you know, the interceptions were good, but someone like Ross Barkley, I wouldn't play, because making too many mistakes and too many errors in the game. The movement was good, the passing is good. England were disciplined, England were controlling the game. Just not enough happened for England. At the end of the day, it's a draw. Not the best, not the worst. We move on. Next up, Spain. Spain, they're on a roll. After that World Cup performance, they know that they've picked it up massively now. Massively. They've got a brand new side now. They've rebuilt their side now. They've beat England 2-1. Shouldn't have been 2-1. We should have drawn that game 2-2. Lucky enough that they got the win there. I think if we would have brought on someone like Welbeck or someone, have more creativity, have more ability to break down on Croatia and sort of get more crosses into the box, a chance away in the back of the net. It was anyone's game, this one, but fortunately it didn't come out England's way. But talking about Spain, they're on a roll. They've beaten England, they've beaten Wales. They've just recently beat Wales 4-1 in a friendly. That'll be good for them now coming up against England. They've got the confidence. They'll be at home. England have got to throw everything at it, especially when we're away from home. Not many training sessions now as well to the next game, literally about 2 training sessions and then on to the next game. So it's going to be a struggle, and the players are going to have to be refreshed, and they're going to have to go again against Spain. It's not going to be easy, but we're going to have to deal with it. If we do what we do against Spain and did what we did last time round, hopefully if he gets the game plan and the tactics right, hopefully we can win the game. There'll be fans there, so there'll be an atmosphere that'll get the players going, and that'll get the players to push, create chances. We just didn't create enough chances in this game. It's a shame, because we were looking good in that second half, but just not enough pressure was applied onto Croatia. But at the end of the day, Croatia, we expected a very good game against them, with the likes of Modric, Persic. You know, they played well, we played well. Well, not the best really, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. We move on against Spain. We're expecting a very good fight against Spain, and we're going to have to really push. We need the 3 points, and if we can do that, I'll be so happy. We're just going to have to throw everything at it against Spain. Hope it's a much more of a better game, and hope it comes to England's way. Hope it does, fingers crossed, touch wood. And yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed another video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in a video in the next couple of days, and peace.